At Sundus Exchange, we do money transfer and remittance all over the world. We have offices in Dubai, offices in Kampala, Somalia, and different parts of the world, USA, Canada, UK, Dubai, among others. Download the Payc app from Play Store and you can exchange money all over the world and the recipients receive via mobile money. Try Payc today for instant exchange. Sundus Exchange, your money transfer and the best as remittance. We are fast and reliable money transfer limited. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching these videos. At the moment of recording, we have 820 subscribers, as you see in this section. Please, I request you to subscribe if you're new to this channel for more content of this nature. We do content about programming, graphics, 3D animation, and motion graphics. Alright, so let's go ahead. We want to invest and I want to show you the database. Okay, so for the moment, I'm going to be forced to create a new user because we have now here are our tables, and one of our tables is investments. Okay, so for the investments, we want the moment a person creates or registers a user, they can instantly also create the investments table because we do want someone to be investing. Right, so I'm going to go and run the investments table here in my artisan commands. So I'll migrate because I need the table created. We have the investments table. Now on the investments table, we have what we've been doing: investment capital, current capital, stock capital, withdraw, balance, and profits. Now these are going to be kept direct from the server because any update will need to be showing on or being updated in the store and then being updated on the dashboard. Okay, so we need to have one, the investment, the current capital, that is after stock has been deducted, so it should be updated in the database, the stock capital, the withdraw, the balance, and then the profits being made for the owner of the company or the owner of those small store units. And also the FK user is now the user who is investing for that moment. Okay, and then we have also kiosks, but we'll come into that. So let's go back here. So what we want is the moment someone registers a user, okay, they do, okay, I'll need to refresh here because it's still holding the previous cache. Okay, so let me sign out. Okay, I'm getting unauthorized because the user I deleted the user out there. I didn't delete the user using the cache. So I'm going to be forced to register a new user because right now I have no user. If I come to the users table, I do not have any user. First name, last name, phone, email, verified. Okay, all that. So I also added access so that I can be able to block that user. And by default, that access is 1. I can decide to make it 0 all. So it depends on you what you have in your documentation. Remember to document everything. So I'm going to register user, and the moment the user is registered, I also register the defaults of the stock. So the defaults are 0, 0, 0, 0. If I check the structure here, okay, you can see that the default is 0, 0, 0. And then this FKUs, of course, it must be for the authenticated user, and then the other is null. All right, so which means I just create the first the moment the user is registered in the system. So it depends on who you want to register the user, and it will be with the admins who will be registering the user. All right, so let me go ahead and go to register, and I will be registering as usual. Okay. So is there, okay, there is the registration page. Okay, so before I do anything, I need to go to where and write a function that is going to be looking at my investments, and that will be in the auth controller, because in the auth controller, that's where we created the register user. So we just need to write another function here that is going to be registering the user investment. Okay, and into my functions, okay, I just want to zoom in a bit. into my functions, I'm going to create one that will cater for the investments. All right, so the first thing I need to do, I need to import that model. So use app investments, and I think it will be app models investments. All right, so I need to call that model of investments, and I see what I need to have in investments. So I'm going to be looking at the table which is called investments. This is a Laravel model, and then under investments, I need to be recording some of the following, but I'm not recording them for the first time because they're just going to be updated, so I may not even register them at the moment. So I'll be looking at investment capital, put them here. The only thing I needed was the FK user because that cannot be null. So the rest have a default of 0, so I couldn't, it's no of use putting them in the model. However, I can create one called create investments, which is going to equal to an object. So the first thing I will have is investments, okay, which model I called before, and then I put create, okay, in brackets. But here I'll be taking in the authenticated user, okay, because the user will be created. Okay, so I'll be taking in now user. Here it is user token, so I'll be taking in user ID, okay. So I'll be having now the FK user, and then I'll point at $user ID, okay. So at that moment the user is not yet authenticated, but the user is being registered. Okay, this is supposed to be a comma. Okay, so the rest is going to be by default, which will be updated later when someone comes and presses, okay, the other button when someone logs in. Okay, so let's first do the first things. I also remember I didn't do anything for the what. I didn't really do anything for when after someone has been registered. What do I do? Right. So let me go and do that concerning the registration. So I'm going to go to my store, then I look for register user. Okay. Okay. It's okay. It takes someone to the dashboard. Okay. I thought I had not done that. Okay, and then you can also get a message response. All right, so let's register the first name, and then second name, and then phone number. I'm not afraid to use my phone number because people who want to donate, okay, usually use it for World Remit, so the public already knows it. However, if you're doing World Remit, you have to add the 256 here. This is the country code. Okay. And then this is my personal mail that I've used here. Okay, so I'll put a password which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I choose to register the user. Okay, I have a 422. I need to inspect and get to know what the 422 is about. Okay. Failed to load source. The server responded. Okay. Saying that the telephone that was given is invalid. That is true. I put, I think, a limit of 10. So when I added 256, I think it gave, an error. Okay, so let me send. This time around the user is, okay, I get a 500, which says unknown column, FK user. Okay. All right, so let's check. All right, I don't, okay, FK user. Okay, So that is true that when I'm creating the FK user here, I added an underscore, yet it's not in the original. All right, so let's go again and register. Okay, so I'm going to create our credentials. And then, okay, put the proper email. And then the password is 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 8. Then I register. Good, we are good to go, okay? So if I do check and reload here, okay, so we have our first investment whose initials are 000. And then we did not reroute here because I simply put it out, but we're going to reroute. So I'm going to go back and delete that table so that it takes us back to the dashboard. All right, so I'm going to delete that table once more. Okay. So the statement just checks if the user is not null, and it goes to the dashboard, or it goes back to the home page. All right, so I have added a reroute to the login page. Okay, so let's see now this time around if we're going to reroute. So I'll come, then I choose to register. Then I choose to register. All right, so it reroutes to the login. If the registration is successful, then I can put anything here. For example, the business ID. Okay, the worker ID, anything. And then the email, and then the password. And then I choose to log in, which should log us in. All right, so there we go. And then we just going, now we already have, if I go to the investments, we already have an investment for user 1. Okay, so we can retrieve the investments here, okay, to show on the user here. So which means the investment here should be able to show 0 and whatsoever. So that when we come to accounts to update the balance, it should reflect instantly here. In fact, I wanted the moment someone comes to accounts and they invest, okay, it instantly shows at the moment here, okay? But someone can always come back to the dashboard because it will be reading direct from what is saved in the database. All right, so let's go ahead and read from the database investment to our initial balance and whatsoever is meant to be done here.